Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Escort RS Turbo. So in today's video we're going to be dealing with the rust in the front passenger windscreen pillar. I'll just spin the camera around and we'll take a look. So now that the battery tray is all welded in and the dashboard is still out the car, I want to take the windscreen out and have a look at treating this rust in the windscreen pillar here. Now, it doesn't look too bad from the outside, but I don't know what it's like underneath this windscreen. So I'm probably just going to end up cutting out the windscreen rubber because it's going to need a new windscreen because it's got a crack all the way along the front, which is a shame because it is the original windscreen. But while we're getting a new screen, we might as well get a new rubber. So we'll get this cut out and expose what's under here, but fingers crossed it's not going to be too bad because it doesn't look too bad from the other side. So we'll get it up on some time lapse, we'll get this out and cut back in. So this is what it looks like with the rubber and the windscreen taken out. I've not even given it a blowout yet, so we're seeing this together. I don't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be, but nevertheless there's still a bit of repair work to do. And the same with up here. But I think what I'll do is I'll just cut a section out, let a new piece in here. But what I'm going to do is have a bit more of a dig round here and see how much of the lips we need to repair and how far it comes down here, which I don't think it comes down very far at all, to be honest. Maybe between these two we might need to take a bit of a look, but again, cut a section out, let a piece in. So I'll get these ground back and see how bad they are, and then start templating for some new sections. So I've given it a whip over with the old surface conditioning wheel to take all the paint off, and we've exposed this bit, so it doesn't look too bad. But again, we'll cut this out, but while I was at it, I took all the paint off around the whole aperture, and to be honest, she's pretty good. There is some tiny little pinholes in places. But what I think I'll do is I'll get the old power file out and we'll grind these out as far as we can. Some we may try and weld back up, but I think we'll end up, by the time it's all ground out and then treated with a little bit of the old rust treatment and then filled again, that should sort those bits out. But the worst bits are here and here. So I'll get these cut out and then we can make some templates out of paper and then get these cut out into metal and get it all welded in and a bit of primer to seal it all. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it so far. It's nowhere near as rusty as it could have been, but yeah, let's crack on. So guys, I've made all these repair sections to be let in here. And because this is quite a sharp angle, I'd say it's almost like 90 degrees, my plan will be to weld a section in here and then cut it just below this, like this fold, and then weld this piece of metal in at the top, and then retrim down here and weld down here, and then that weld joint will just grind back and make the very small curve which is on the pillar there. So that's the plan for here and here. And I've also made this section which will go in here, and that will then close off this corner here and make this corner all watertight, so we shouldn't have any water getting into the car. So that's the plan. I'm going to set the camera up, I'm going to get the welder out, and we get all this welded up. As you see in a time lapse, that is all now nicely welded up. And I'll put a little bit of rust treatment on the tiny spots that were left in the metal there after I cleaned it up. So the next step now will be to fill this, which I've bought big tub of filler, new sander and some masking film. So we get this masked up, get everything protected, we get some filler on here, get it knocked back and try and get it shaped to what it should be, and get a bit of primer and potentially a little bit of paint, colour paint around the inside of this edge, because I may end up getting a windscreen put back in it before we have the whole thing painted. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So let's get the camera set back up on some time lapse. We get this all masked in and we crack on. So that is the windscreen surround done. I've given it a couple of coats of paint just to seal it, just in case we do end up putting a windscreen back in it before the car is had a full paint job. So it just gives it a bit of chance to be protected. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. All looks right. Obviously I've got a bit of a hard line here, so we'll end up flattening this all down once it's been prepped for paint. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it so far. So I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. It's taken a while for me to get this video sorted, so I do apologise for that. But we'll be back on the Escort as well as the Subaru if you've watched my last video. So that should be quite interesting as well. So if you do enjoy the videos, guys, do please consider to drop a like and a subscribe. And I do like to thank you all for watching. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.